What's up, guys? This is Nate from Let's Wrassle, and today I got a super special guest for you guys. This is Shane from Silent Victory Training Centers, as well as he just accepted the coaching position for the UPJ women's team. So, Shane, getting started, super busy guy, black belt in jiu-jitsu, owning a gym, being a college coach. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Started my career off of being a national champ, going into coaching at Pitt Johnstown, and loved it. Absolutely loved it. I got a job opportunity to in sales. Decided to take it, and and honestly, it just wasn't meant to be. It just didn't fit my persona. Didn't fit. Something was missing. So I had the bright opportunity or the bright idea to start a gym. And it was something that I dreamt about, never thought I could do it until I just made the leap and did it. Loved it. And I've had the gym for 7 years now. Coached multiple state champions, national champions, and right now currently helping out college wrestlers and high school wrestlers at the top level get to their highest potential.
So, the hot topic recently with you has been that you did accept the UPJ position for the women's coach. Tell us a little bit about women's wrestling, how this all came about. This is big news, not just from the UPJ perspective, but from a women's wrestling perspective as a whole. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, something I would never have thought in my career path that I would have been coaching a women's wrestling team in college. If you'd asked me 10 years ago, Shane, you're going to be the coach at UPJ, I would have said, yeah, you're absolutely right. And if they would have said it's going to be women's, I'd have been like, what the heck are you talking about? Because women's wrestling wasn't as prominent as now. I started a women's wrestling club here at Silent Victory, and it took off. I have a plethora of girls that are extremely talented, and I have new girls walking the door every day. So I started to really find a niche, whatever you want to say it, market in the Pittsburgh area. But I I realized that you know these women, that I'm coaching, they're very coachable. They don't have bad habits as much. Everybody still has bad habits, but not as much. And that I'm finding the majority are more willing to listen and understand. So when it came down to it, I got a call from the president and the athletic director that they were starting a women's program and they wanted me to be the inaugural coach. I weighed my weight on it, and I waited over and over again. Talked to my wife about it, and it was something that we thought, and both of us thought that this would be a great opportunity and something that I can give back to the university that gave so much to me.
That's great. And, we're all super excited to see what this year holds. I know you got some big recruits coming in. Kind of jump into a different perspective now. You have been at the height of this sport, national champion, an accolades list past what a lot of people can even comprehend. If you had to give up your national title
Hmm.
and get one thing, it could be anything in the world, what would you do with that trade?
Well, that's a very broad give up anything, but the biggest thing that that I would give up, and it sounds like something that like kind of corny, but it's true, is I would have gave up my national title for a team national title. Because a lot of my friends that were wrestling with me, my teammates that I call brothers, um, for them to experience what I experienced and see us as a whole experience that would have been a dream come true. A national title for me was amazing, but only I got to experience that. Now everybody there got to experience watching me do it, but it's a different. I feel like it would have been a different way of feeling if our entire team did it and we all get to celebrate that together as a whole. Um, though my national title was something that I will forever remember, and then I can still remember the smell of the arena. I can still remember walking out to the arena. So um, I will never take away my national title, but if I could give it up, it would be for a team national title.
That's awesome to hear. Coming from the same alma mater of Pitt Johnstown, I think that's a big part of our environment is brotherhood. Now it's family with the women's wrestling being added. You know, um, Coming from a Let's Wrestle perspective now, we have a community that we're building, and from that, you have a lot of people that maybe aren't where they want to be in their careers yet. Some people that are at the height of their careers. What would some of the contributing factors to jumping to reach those goals look like for you? If you had to give some sort of, magic key.
What I explain to my students all the time is there's no secret sauce to success. It is something that is earned, something that it's a sacrifice that you have to make in order to be the best you possibly can be. When I really bought into our system, we call it UPJ, and the brotherhood, and trying to get my brothers more to get my brothers better than I was, and watching them win more than I wanted to win made me a better wrestler. So it's something that you have to buy in. Whoever your coach is, you have to make sure that you are listening. Make sure that you are doing it to the fullest extent. I think sometimes as wrestlers, we try to, oh, I know this, I know that, but and we're, I don't, I this is not going to work for me. That move's not going to work for me, so I'm not going to pay attention during practice. But what I started to learn is trying everything you possibly can do in order to get one step ahead of your competition. So when you come to practice, giving it 1000%. When you come into practice, you're walking in, you're the first person to walk in, last person to leave, kind of mentality. And that's the same it goes for when I started realizing how good I was getting, it became contagious. I wanted to be the best in school. I wanted to be the best in the public. Do everything. I wanted to do everything right. And once I started doing everything right, all the chips started to fall, everything started happening. So, one word of advice is to any kids trying to be the best they possibly be is one, listen to your coaches. Two, dedicate yourself to being the best you possibly can be and giving everything, knowing that this is going to be a sacrifice. You're going to have to do things that the common man or woman don't do. There's not going to the movies, not going to dances, not going to parties, that teenagers and young adults that they do. You're gonna have to miss some of that stuff in order to get to that where you want to be, or where you dreamed of becoming. So that was the one thing that when I took that step, did I sacrifice a lot of things that I wish I could have done? Absolutely. But if you'd asked me if I would trade it, you know, trade it over to go to that party, absolutely not. That sacrifice, that thing that I did, the things that I did were totally worth it in the end. The hard practices, the 3 practices a day, 5 to 6 days a week, it was totally worth it. But at the time, it might not seem like it. But at the end, when I got to cash in all my chips in that national finals and get my hand raised, it was all worth it.
We really try to take that approach. You gave some really good advice there, which actually beat me to my next question. That was going to be the next thing I asked you. Um, so Shane, you've gotten to see me from the time I was a lot younger than I am now until today. Is there any final thoughts? Is there any shout outs, anything that you want to put out there for the public to see, for our community to see? You've gotten to see this brand grow from before it was even close to being a final product. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, this is an awesome little company that is grown from love, and love for the sport. Let's Wrassle is something that I feel it speaks louder than just the words. It's something that I hold dear because I love this sport more than anything else in the world, and I know Nate, Coach Nate, does too. And creating this brand, it's something that you know is not just let's wrestle. What does that mean? It means the dedication, the time, everything that put into this sport, you know, is something that to me is holds more weight than gold. And I think that wearing this shirt, wearing and having a sticker and representing Let's Wrestle is just shows whoever was wearing it that this is more than a sport. This is a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle, life brand. something that everybody can wrestle, and know that whenever you see a person with a Let's Wrestle shirt on, you know that they mean business and that they are trying to do everything they possibly can to be the best.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Hey guys, so make sure to go on to Silent Victory Training Centers on Instagram, all your social media platforms. If you're in the area, make sure to stop by. Coach Shane's always here, grinding, getting people better. Make sure to go check out letswrestleapparel.com and shoot for the stars, even if you can't make it to the launch pad. Appreciate Shane coming on today.
Let's go.
That was good.
That worked.